What is blockchain? A blockchain is a distributed database or ledger that is shared among the nodes of a computer network. As a database, a blockchain stores information electronically in digital format. Blockchain is a type of shared database that differs from a typical database in the way that it stores information. Blockchains store data in blocks that are then linked together via cryptography. Blockchains are best known for their crucial role in cryptocurrency systems, such as Bitcoin, for maintaining a secure and decentralized record of transactions. The innovation with a blockchain is that it guarantees the fidelity and security of a record of data and generates trust without the need for a trusted third party. One key difference between a typical database and a blockchain is how the data is structured. A blockchain collects information together in groups, known as blocks, that hold sets of information. Blocks have certain storage capacities and, when filled, are closed and linked to the previously filled block, forming a chain of data known as the blockchain. All new information that follows that freshly added block is compiled into a newly formed block that will then also be added to the chain once filled. A database usually structures its data into tables, whereas a blockchain, as its name implies, structures its data into chunks blocks that are strung together. This data structure inherently makes an irreversible timeline of data when implemented in a decentralized nature. When a block is filled, it is set in stone and becomes a part of this timeline. Each block in the chain is given an exact timestamp when it is added to the chain. Different types of information can be stored on a blockchain, but the most common use so far has been as a ledger for transactions. In Bitcoin's case, blockchain is used in a decentralized way so that no single person or group has control. Rather, all users collectively retain control. Decentralized blockchains are immutable, which means that the data entered is irreversible. For Bitcoin, this means that transactions are permanently recorded and viewable to anyone. The goal of blockchain is to allow digital information to be recorded and distributed, but not edited. In this way, a blockchain is the foundation for immutable ledgers, or records of transactions that cannot be altered, deleted, or destroyed. This is why blockchains are also known as a distributed ledger technology. In 2009, in the years since, the use of blockchains has exploded via the creation of various cryptocurrencies, decentralized finance applications, non-fungible tokens and smart contracts. To validate new entries or records to a block, a majority of the decentralized network's computing power would need to agree to it. To prevent bad actors from validating bad transactions or double spends, blockchains are secured by a consensus mechanism such as proof of work or proof of stake. These mechanisms allow for agreement even when no single node is in charge. All blockchain transactions can be transparently viewed by either having a personal node or using blockchain explorers that allow anyone to see transactions occurring live. Each node has its own copy of the chain that gets updated as fresh blocks are confirmed and added. This means that if you wanted to, you could track Bitcoin wherever it goes. Exchanges have been hacked in the past, where those who kept Bitcoin on the exchange lost everything. While the hacker may be entirely anonymous, the bitcoins that they extracted are easily traceable. If the bitcoin stolen in some of these hacks were to be moved or spent somewhere, it would be known. The records stored in the Bitcoin blockchain as well as most others are encrypted. This means that only the owner of a record can decrypt it to reveal their identity using a public-private key pair. As a result, users of blockchains can remain anonymous while preserving transparency. The key thing to understand here is that Bitcoin merely uses blockchain as a means to transparently record a ledger of payments, but blockchain can, in theory, be used to immutably record any number of data points. This could be in the form of transactions, votes in an election, product inventories, state identifications, deeds to homes, and much more. Currently, tens of thousands of projects are looking to implement blockchains in a variety of ways to help society other than just recording transactions. This could be a way to vote securely in democratic elections. The nature of blockchain's immutability means that fraudulent voting would become far more difficult to occur. Blockchains have been heralded as being a disruptive force to the finance sector, and especially with the functions of payments and banking. Some companies that have already incorporated blockchain include Walmart, Pfizer, AIG, Siemens, Unilever, and a host of others. For example, IBM has created its Food Trust blockchain to trace the journey that food products take to get to their locations. What do you think of blockchains? Is it the future? Leave your comments and opinions.